Starting from Lost by S.K. Wills. Together they sat at the breakfast nook, placing plates filled with pasta and sauce side by side. She broke off large chunks of French bread and set pieces in a bowl between their plates. Alex found where she kept her glasses and poured them each some of the wine that she had picked up for the meal. Balancing on his bar stool, he demonstrated the proper way to gather pasta on a fork. Taking a bite, he nodded at her question before answering. "It is an art, and it's harder than it looks." Then he watched as she tried to spin the pasta and gather it on her fork, but it slid off after each twirl. Reading her intentions before she could carry them out, he caught her wrist as she picked up her knife. Absolutely not. Cutting pasta in front of an Italian is a crime punishable by death. His tone might have been serious, but his eyes were laughing at her. "Oh, come on. It's easier if I cut it." Her words were a little breathless, but she couldn't help it. She knew her pulse was hammering under his hold and was thankful when he lowered her hand back to the table. She released the knife, and he released her. It took every ounce of her willpower not to rub at her wrist where he had touched her, just to check if her skin really was burning. "Try again," he said, and began to twirl his fork slowly in demonstration, like this. She tried mimicking his movements. The noodle started to slip off, and he placed his hand over hers, spinning the fork's position differently. The noodles wound neatly around the utensil, but Hannah had stopped paying attention. Her hand slipped away the moment he lightened his hold, and before she comprehended the onslaught of emotions his touch sent winding through her, he was lifting her fork to her mouth. She parted her lips automatically as he ushered a command. As the warm pasta met her tongue, desire flooded her, bringing a heavy rain to her drought. "See," he said, after he finished feeding her the bite. There was a huskiness in his voice that wasn't there before. "Not so hard after all." He set her fork on her plate and went back to his own. "No," she said, after taking a long moment to swallow. "Thanks for the help." She took a quick gulp of the wine to wash down the pasta lodged in her throat. What was wrong with her?